I just reviewed a terrible project, and usually I wouldn't cover this, but I think it's a good learning lesson, kind of what to look for. And a lot of people are going to get caught in this because they don't look too deep, and they'll make an investment that they might regret. But first, I would like to thank all my new subscribers and viewers. I appreciate you guys. The response has been incredible. I started this channel on Saturday. I never would have thought that a couple days later I would have this much interest. So thank you very much. My goal here is to provide the most level-headed research, where we look at pros and cons and the data behind projects, so to get a fair look at them. And I think the quality takes on crypto in this space are just kind of very limited. It's almost a little bit of a black hole. So if you'd like to help me ramp up the research while improving the quality of the research, please share my videos with your friends or in a Discord, or anyone who think you would get some benefit out of it. And you don't have to, of course, but I would really appreciate it if you did. And like I said, it helped me ramp some things up. So thank you very much. Let's look first at the website. So whoever is leading this, or they did a great job on building the website. It is a 3-year-old project. Let's look at the chart. So they had some success during the last bull cycle, and makes sense since why they're pretty much right in the right product for the market, product fit, and they had a great website. This video was kind of the first sign might not be a good project, but they've got tons of couple projects here. They have some achievements that sound great, 10 million TVL, and they have some new products that they say they're going to launch as well. All good signs. And then also a roadmap where they've got information on what they're working on, a lending platform, AMM. But these seem to be mostly like older type projects. Though they do have the AI blockchain platform, and that looks kind of promising. So they've got all these, and they've got their team here, all doxed, and their VC partners as well. So, it looks on the surface like it could be a good project, but when we really dive deep into it, it's one of the old school DeFi DEX and farming projects, and I don't think farming really provided like a ton of value. I mean, you could earn some yield off of it, but it was more of a fad, in my opinion. So they haven't really updated with the times, executed, no innovation. And then that's part of the execution here. And then I don't think they have like a development team. If you look at their Discord, they're like spamming for somebody to come work for them. So a blockchain developer offering like $50 an hour or whatever, but they've posted it like, I don't know, like half a dozen times at least. It's kind of weird. And then the tokenomics. So on the tokenomics, this is why I think they're brilliant. They have extremely low supply, which means it doesn't take much to move the price of this thing. And it's more of like a play here where I can see someone playing this as like, hey, I'm gonna buy it and just wait for it to pump and then sell on a pump. But it's gonna be like extremely volatile. They've got an 8% wallet there who holds like 8% of the coins. There might be more on exchanges. I'm not 100% sure. But anyway, like someone could easily dump on you and really, since supply is so low, it'll affect price pretty quickly. That's definitely a risk. And you got to look at the old tokenomics model here, because this was very common in DeFi in the last bull cycle. The 20% marketing, like what they would do is they would take this, they would ask a social media influencer to pump their program to all their followers, and then they give them some tokens, and that's how they would get paid out, right? That's how they'd earn their money for pumping it. And then 20% is the team, which is just wild. And then they got the public sale or IDO. Those were often like given to friends. You could get into some of them, but you had to somehow know they were going on. and oftentimes it was more insider knowledge. So those always cracked me up. The team, like I said, is they've got them listed there and they're doxed, but the two out of three I looked up, they either left or are looking for work and spamming in their Discord, which is just weird. Like having a team member, employee, like spamming the Discord looking for somebody, looking for an employee, which is strange. And the fact that there wasn't enough other posts in there to that I could see it happen over weeks, like it just tells you something about how engaged the community is. The revenue potential is probably low to zero. They're not getting much fees off their farms because they've got low liquidity, and someone complained about that in Discord. So not a lot of adoption, and that makes sense. They have several backers. When you go to the backers page, like this is also interesting. They have two of the VCs are dead, uh, no website, and their Twitters are inactive, and three didn't even list them on on their portfolio. So they either never invested in the first place, or maybe they cut ties with them because it was a broken project. And then one of them was a marketing company. So risks and downsides, just see above. So everything in red and orange is a risk and a downside. So what you'll see some of these, what you'll see some of these influencers do is they'll say, "Oh, it's a DEX, it's a DeFi DEX," just like something like Uniswap, and they'll pick some high market cap chain, and they'll say they'll just plug it into the market cap tool and say, "Hey, it could be up to 20 billion," but there's no sign this thing is going to scale to 20 billion. Like to the contrary. So my targets, like I said, it could bump to maybe 150, maybe even 500 million. But I think what you got to keep in mind is like, sure, you could put your money in here, you might get a 10x, you might get a 30x, but like for the probability of getting that versus like the return you get, there's just so many better places to to look. So many better projects that give you a better chance of getting that type of return. And then you're also not like laying in bed at 3 a.m. checking your phone to see if the price has jumped or dumped. So their speculative potential, they've got some because it's a low liquidity, low supply market, low tokens. So it could spike in price, especially if they market it to some social media, especially if they have some influencers market it. And then their staying power, I think that's generous. They get some staying power because they've been around for a while, but there's not much sign they have any money or a team to execute anything. So this is probably the last cycle for them. And their reputation, I feel like that's a little generous too, but it's a model, so it's not high. Obviously, with their team mostly leaving and not having any signs of a developer or dev team, they don't get a high score on the reputation side. So if you're still here, you got some value out of this, even if it was a bad project. So would love a subscription from you. And otherwise, I'll see you on the next one. I'm sure it'll be better than this.